Okay, so YouTube seems to not be working right now. It seems to be buffering. So that's why I decided to delete the original video. And today we talk about 5 reasons why the Grinch is not as evil as people make him out to be. Number 5, he is poor. The Who's made him poor, so of course he's gonna hate the Who's. They're the reason why he's poor. In the movie, he has to live in a cave with electricity that he probably had to get by himself. He probably had to get his electricity by himself. Everything he has to get by himself. Like, really, it's really the Who's who are the real villains here. The Grinch is just trying to make his living, and he can't go back to the town because they hate him so much that he has to be stuck in his area, in his cave by himself. Number 4. So, okay, in the Illumination movie, Grinch is seen to be a very evil guy. But even the writers hate the Grinch. Even the people who write the book hate the Grinch. So the Grinch is basically, like, have you ever listened to a Your Beatles song? He literally made a song about hating him, and really saying all these things that aren't true. Like, the song is literally bullying him, and that's right. The Grinch is bullied by the people who made the movies. Like, the Grinch, he's just picked on. Like, he's always picked on all the time. Like, come on, let's leave him alone. Let's let him live his life. Number 3. Okay, so at the end of the Grinch movie, Grinch realizes that they'll celebrate Christmas anyways, no matter if there's a tree or not. But you know what the Grinch does? He decides to join because he actually secretly really cares about them, and the Who's finally decide to let him in. Let him in, and he realizes that Christmas is a good holiday. And he realizes that caring for others is a good thing. Good job, Grinch. We're happy that you're actually doing good for once. You're actually being good. And not living in the cave. But it's really the Who's fault, really, that he's left out. Number 2. The Who's kicked the Grinch out. That's right. The biggest reason why the Grinch hates the Who's is because they kicked them out. Really, Who's? You had to kick out the Grinch because he was different? You know how much it hurts someone when you kick him out of your own home? Like, remember all the people who got kicked out? Like, remember the Native Americans and how they got kicked out? That's the same way the Grinch feels. Being isolated from the rest of everyone else because they didn't like him. Wow, Who's? You guys are the real villain of the Grinch story, actually. Not the actual Grinch himself. Number 1. Here's the biggest reason why the Grinch is not really evil. All those years of him being by himself, he's really lonely. He has really no friends. So of course he's gonna hate the Who's because they're the only people who he can talk to, and he hates them. The only company he has is his dog. And he hates the Who's because they won't let him back in, so until the end of the Grinch movie. And the Who's also realize that they have to accept the Grinch as their equal. So really, the Grinch is just all lonely. He has no friends. He has no one to talk to. He has to live in a cave by himself for his whole life. The Grinch is really just misunderstood and really is hated because the Who's don't like him at all. The Grinch is really a misunderstood character in the book, and at least he is treated good at the end of the book, and is not really hated anymore by the Who's. The problem is we're probably going too deep into a kid's book, but we talked about why Red, which is a so-called hero, and Superman, which are so-called heroes, are not really good people. So it's nice to see that the Grinch isn't really evil or hot. Even the evilest people and characters aren't really born evil. So here's an extra reason. Nobody is born evil, that's right. The Grinch was never really always evil. The Grinch was always unfair, ungrateful. He was probably raised this way by his parents. So it wasn't his fault, it was his parents. His parents raised him to be rude. That's another reason. But here are 6 reasons why the Grinch is not a jerk.